People always come into my office and they say, Nicki, you are so hyper. And I am. I'm very hyper, and I've always been very hyper, and I go from being very hyper to being very spaced out. So how do I run a company? How do I exist? And how do I help other children with ADHD, knowing full and well that I grew up with it before the diagnosis was so popular? What I felt worked for me, and I am a big supporter of any program that can help you with this, is 3 things. 1, nutrition. And nutrition is different for every person. But going to a nutrition and a dietitian and figuring out what are your triggers, what makes you more spacey, what makes you more hyper, and what calms you down, what gives you the energy that you need without the over energy. And it's not the same for every kid, and what necessarily will set off one kid won't necessarily set off another, and that's why it's important that you look into an individual plan for yourself. 2, what has made me be able to increase my focus is exercise. I myself work out with a trainer 3 times a week. I walk on the other days. I do weight training. For women, there is different exercises than it is for men. Again, something you should work personally with, depending on your body type and what you need. And then the thing that people always kind of forget about, except for in the summer, but it's so important even in the winter, is hydration. Are they drinking enough water? And it's a big issue for kids in school because going to the bathroom is one of the problems. So they don't drink as much. They're probably not even allowed to drink during the class. So these are the kinds of things that have to be worked out, because we're actually finding that the more water intake and the more hydration that they have, the less exhaustion and the less and more focus. But really understanding your body and knowing what works for you. And this is actually really important before you decide to do the medication route. Because one of the things is when you start adding medication is, if you don't know your body beforehand, you don't know what triggers you, the medicine will be hard for you to determine what's working and what's not working. When you get in tune with what works for your body, then if you decide to go the medicine route or the herbal route or the acupuncture route or whatever route you decide to do, it's going to be easier because you're going to be in tune with what works for your body.